2018 continues. Tonight, the Lake Orion Dragons welcome in the Blackhawks from Bloomfield Hills High School. We've got it all for you here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Pregame is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. The Malash family has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss along with Chris Fritching. It is homecoming week. It's the annual homecoming game. The festivities have been going on. We had a real entertaining powder puff game last night. And tonight, the Bloomfield Hills Blackhawks come in. Last week, the Dragons had a really emotional, well-deserved win over a favored Southfield A&T team. They still have a chance at a playoff slot, but all that being said, it's not going to be easy and may come right down to the last week of the season.
Yeah, you know, it's never easy in the OAA Red, and you know, you win the next 3 games and you're in the playoffs. You've won 6 games. You've got a 1-5 Bloomfield Hills tonight. You've got Clarkston, who's currently 6-0 next week, and then you go on the road down to Monroe, who is currently 5-1. But you know what? It's not about the next 3 nights. It's about tonight. And it's going out there and winning the first quarter, winning the first half, winning the second half, hopefully coming out on top, winning this football game. And, you know, Bloomfield Hills might be 1-5, but traditionally they've played Lake Orion very well. They're 2-2 all time since they merged together as a high school. So this is going to be a good physical football game, and there's good talent obviously on both sides of the football, and it's going to be a great homecoming game to watch.
Bloomfield Hills comes in their first year in the first year Lake Orion played them. It was their last year in the white, and they finished 9-0. Last year, their first year in the red, they made the playoffs. Different story this year.
Right.
Is it the numbers on the team? Is it the competition has gotten better in the division? What's the cause for their drop-off?
You know, I think partially it's the division and the talent level and the other teams in the division. But, you know, it's the ebb and flow of classes from year to year within schools. You know, they're coming in tonight only having 2 seniors on the squad. So they came into the season inexperienced in terms of both sides of the ball. They lost a lot of seniors. They lost a lot of key skill players. Their quarterback and John Paddock and Ty Slazinski from last year, phenomenal players that are playing at the next level collegiately. But you know what? When it's all said and done, you know, they haven't put any points on the board. They've only averaged 14.5 points a game through this 6 games. And the last 4 weeks, they've averaged 49 given up. And so you just can't win football games that way. And you know, they've got certainly some good players on that football team. They just got to find more cohesive groups on both sides of the football to have more success.
We have always stayed with the OAA Red as a whole, but this week, looking at the entire OAA Red, we have 23 teams divided up in 3 divisions, and only 8 of those 23 have a sub-500 record. You got 2 6-0 teams in Clarkston and Oak Park. You got 4 at 5-1. You've got everyone else with a possibility, except for those 8 teams mentioned, that have a possibility to make the playoffs. Can we at long last say that the OAA is one of the premier conferences in the state?
I don't think there's any question. I mean, you think about the teams that have come out from even in the OAA Red and gone on to win state championships. Obviously, Clarkston the last 3 of 5 years. West Bloomfield was in the state finals last year. Orion won the state championship in 2010. In the OAA White, you've got Farmington Hills Harrison, who's won the state championship after state championship. Maybe not recently, but obviously have a tradition of doing that. And Rochester Adams has won in the OAA. And so there's a number of teams in this conference, if you will. But you know, when it's all said and done, I think it's the top tier teams. It's your Clarkstons, your West Bloomfields, your Orions, your Harrisons, Adams, teams like that are really carrying the torch, if you will, for the OAA conference. Certainly, you can compare the OAA Red to your Catholic League Central and some of your OK Red and your OK White conferences on the west side of the state. But all in all, you know what? It's great football, and I know Coach Blackstock in the Dragon program wants to play competition, top competition, week in and week out.
It's the first weekend in October. As was written, the days dwindle down to a precious few. Darkness comes earlier, and there's just that touch of fall in the air. It's Lake Orion, Bloomfield Hills, and we've got it for you. Stay with us. Pregame was underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. The Malash family has been serving Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222. Just before the start of tonight's game, homecoming, the Lake Orion Dragons welcome in the Blackhawks from Bloomfield Hills High School. They're coached by head coach Dan Loria in his 6th season, 22-31 overall. 2 playoff appearances in 2016 and 2017. Chris, you've got your keys to the game tonight.
Yeah, number 1, I call it Ho-Co-Mo. What does that mean? Homecoming momentum. Started earlier this week with the homecoming parade, and on Monday they had a great practice. I talked to some of the coaching staff. Had a great practice on Monday, full of energy. Probably their best Monday practice in a long time. Leading up into all the pomp and circumstance of homecoming week, and as you mentioned, the Powder Puff game last night, tonight's game, and build on that momentum and take that into tonight's game. Number 2, run the ball. It might sound very basic, very simplistic, but dominate the time of possession. Last week against Southfield, Lake Orion rushed for 295 yards on the ground. Manzo 97, Robinson 65, DeBrinket 61. And number 3, got to stop number 17, Alec Ward on Bloomfield Hills. He's quick, elusive, slot receiver, finds a way to get open. Later, during some second and third downs, I think Lake Orion's going to probably look to double team this individual. He's one guy they've got to stop on for Bloomfield Hills tonight. So do those 3 things to come out with a victory.
The band is on the field, and we'll pause for our national anthem. Our first quarter of action is underwritten by Jets Pizza on M24. Jets Pizza, longtime underwriter of these broadcasts since 2009. Our first half scoreboard is underwritten by M&B Graphics. If it's printed, they can do it. Located at 199 South Broadway in Lake Orion. Give them a call at 248-690-7527. This series, since the consolidation of Andover and Lasser High School, is tied 2-2. Lake Orion won in 2014 and 2015, and Bloomfield Hills in 2016 and 2017. Last year, Bloomfield Hills won at Bloomfield Hills 27-21. Lake Orion will receive the opening kickoff. Our officiating crew tonight, our referee is Jeff Davis. The head linesman is Jefferson Beckles. The line judge is Les English. The umpire is Dalton Barksdale. And the back judge is Trayvon Cooper. Marlon Robinson drops deep, along with Sanai Pillow. And number 40, B. Johnston, will kick off. And we're underway. End over end kick taken at the 2-yard line. Up over the 15, the 20, he's got a seam, 25, 30, 40. Still on his feet over midfield and out of bounds in West Bloomfield territory. Great return by Marlon Robinson.
Great way to start a football game, huh? Yeah. Taking the ball over to the other side of the field into Bloomfield Hills territory.
Dragons will start out 1st and 10 at the West Bloomfield 47.
Nice block right there. And all Robinson needed is a little seam. And he's able to keep his legs churning, keep those legs driving over the 50-yard line.
Lauer, handoff to, we're trying to see as they unpile. Jack DeBrinket on the carry, gain of about 2. Ball's marked just shy of the 45-yard line. Blaze Lauer's at quarterback. Jack DeBrinket and Kobe Manzo in the I formation in the backfield. DeBrinket again. He's got a first down and more, down to about the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons.
That was Robinson that time. Robinson carried the ball against Southfield last week 10 times for 65 yards. So he comes into the season, Robinson does, averaging 6.5 yards a carry. He got many more than that on that carry.
We've seen it all season, 21, 27. Their running styles are similar. Robinson and Manzo. Hand to Robinson up the middle. He's got another seam, and one thing I've noticed early is the Dragon backs are doing a great job holding on to the football. There's been some times where their carry arms have been tried to be stripped, and they're holding on to the ball real well.
Again, when you rush the ball like they did last week for 295 yards, I mean, holding on to the ball is obviously a big part of that, and there's another 10-yard gain for Robinson.
1st and 10 for the Dragons. Manzo and Robinson in an offset eye. Lauer under center. Hands off. Robinson breaks it outside to the 15, and he's dragged down with a shoulder pad tackle.
I mean, think about, I said at the outset about the number of rushing yards they had last week. But when you've got 3 guys like last week that are rushing the ball over 60 yards, and that's just on the ground. It makes it very tough for a defense to isolate on somebody. Robinson just came out, DeBrinket going back in, so they've got a nice well of a pool, I should say, of backs that can carry the football. We haven't even talked about Manzo yet.
Twins right to Brinkett up the middle, down to the 15-yard line.
I don't know if we
Number
can get
81, Eric Garcia.
I don't know if we can get to see the replay on that one, but I've mentioned him before. Hunter Chambers, number 71, just making a pancake block if you ever wanted to see one. Beautiful block. Hunter has fun out there.
3rd and 1, and looking at the whole team in pregame, they're having fun tonight. 3rd and 1. Manzo up the middle, got a first down and more down near the 5-yard line. Number 11, Hunter Neely, in on the tackle for the Blackhawks. So it's 1st and goal for the Dragons.
I'm gonna highlight him again. Manzo got the first down, but Hunter Chambers had another back-to-back pancakes on that one to spring Manzo for an extra few yards. So got to give those linemen credit too and highlight them.
And the line's played so well the last few weeks. 1st and goal for the Dragons. Marlon Robinson up the middle, inside the 5, down to about the 4 or the 3. Nose of the football will be just shy of the 3. It'll be 2nd and goal. Early in the season, if you remember, Chris, we saw some issues where Blaze was getting tangled up with the guards as he made his move back from center. They've cleaned that up. He's been under center and had no problems. Marlon Robinson, close. Did he get in? No, they're going to mark him down about the 1.5. We saw the offensive lineman go in the end zone, and Marlon wasn't with them. So 3rd down. .7:30 left here in the first. Dragons come out, wide out each side. Freeman in a slot right. Single back in the backfield is Marlon Robinson. Robinson gets the carry, stacked up near the goal line. They're going to call him short at the 1.
Yeah, he got stacked up all right. The initial contact, when he made initial contact with the Bloomfield Hills defender, he was stood straight up. And that's a situation where you're down inside the 1 yard, inside the 2 yard line. You've got to be able to lower your shoulder and be leaning forward. You can't be standing vertical. It's going to be tough to get in when you do that.
Eric Garcia again on the stop for the Blackhawks. So 4th and goal from the 1. Toss back. Marlon Robinson in.
No, he didn't.
And he did not get in. He was tripped up right at the goal line, and if anything, a good defensive stand from the 5-yard line in by the Blackhawks.
Yeah, just when you thought Lake Orion was moving the ball downfield and scoring, and had all the momentum after the great kickoff return by Robinson, you're right. The Blackhawks did a great job inside the 10-yard line, getting a stop and getting the ball back. It's very tough now moving the ball out from behind your own, near your own end zone, but at the same time, the score is still 0-0.
Yeah.
What a big win for the Blackhawks.
We'll try to set, looks like number 7, Justin Jones is the quarterback. Handoff, and that's stacked up after about a 2-yard gain. Casey Coltrane in on the tackle. I didn't see who the ball carrier was. 2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2.
Quarterback is number 6, Andrew Barish.
Now we were told, and everything I looked said they only had 2 seniors on their roster. Well, looking at the roster we were provided, they've got a pretty good spattering of seniors. From the gun, drops, looks, picked off and dropped. Sam Perillo had it in his hands and just dropped it as he was on his way down.
Yeah, Darren Mack had number 8 had a hand in that, if you will. It was deflected by Josh Wentz right here. Good job dropping into his pass zone, and Perillo had it, but Mack did a nice job of making the tackle to force the incompletion.
So 3rd down and 8 for the Blackhawks. Ball spotted on the 3. Ball's on the left hash.
I know that's one thing the Lake Orion linebackers focused on a lot, is getting to that curl hook zone this week and doing a nice job. Wentz did a great job of deflecting that, getting in the passing lane to make that incomplete.
3rd down. Handoff up the middle, and he's not going anywhere. He's dropped at the 1.
Nice tackle.
I didn't see who the
by
ball
Isaac
carrier
Kinney.
was.
Nice tackle by Isaac Kinney.
So that brings up 4th down and 10. Number 24, Hunter Eastings in punt formation. Short punt taken by Howell. He's down to the 10-yard line. Mitch Howell on the punt return. The Dragons will start out 1st and 10 from the 11. Orion Neighborhood Television is gearing up for the first annual Ride the Oaks for Holy Spokes this Sunday, October 7th. $40 per team with a max of 5 people per team, or $20 per individual. All proceeds benefit Holy Spokes of Lake Orion. Registration forms are available at www.orion.tv. 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Handoff to Brinkett. He's stacked up for no gain.
Yeah, to Brinkett.
Number 83, Mike Kramer, in on the stop.
Yeah, not even touched, Kramer. Defensive end, backup tight end for them. You're bound to make a play if you're not touched or not blocked, so he did just that.
He's a big one, too. I'm looking at him standing down there. He's defensive end, and yeah, he's big. So 2nd down and 10 from the 12. Toss back. Marlon Robinson in. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. Good blocking up front, and he didn't even have to break stride going in.
They are going to get Matthew Freeman on the edge for a hold, though, I believe. Right on that perimeter.
Flags down at the 3-yard line. Yep, holding offense. Yep, number 4. So that'll back the Dragons up 10.
Let's see if we can see it here on the edge. Matt Freeman, you can't quite see him. He's off to the right-hand screen. He's at the top of the numbers right there. And the defender tries to turn, and Alec Ward tries to turn, and you can see the jersey pull that Freeman had, and that's why they called that. It's a tough thing to do. Perimeter blocking as a wide receiver, tough thing to do when you're isolated one-on-one on a defender.
Well, it's a spot foul. So now it's 2nd down from the 11 or from the 12. Matt Freeman, and he's in for the touchdown. Lake Orion Dragons ran that jet sweep to the far side. Good perimeter blocking this time, and he went in unmolested.
Yeah, great block on the edge by number 18, Ben Ulrich, tight end. Did a great job of setting the edge. And then you'll see it right here as Freeman goes in motion. Number 18 right there on top. Freeman cuts inside the block, boom, finds the edge. A Bloomfield Hills defender goes down. Chris Vernon said, I didn't block him, but he ended up on his back. Touchdown, Lake Orion.
Connor Ross in, balls down, kick up, kick is good. 4:01 left here in the first. Dragons take a 7-0 lead. The Lake Orion Dragon broadcast program and Orion Neighborhood Television have teamed up to bring you live broadcasts of several Lake Orion High School games and events throughout the year. That includes all varsity football games, weather permitting, and several varsity volleyball matches this fall. If you aren't able to be in attendance, you can watch many games and events online. A subscription costs less than $10 per month, and half of the proceeds go back to the Lake Orion High School broadcast program. It's a great option for friends and family who might not live in the area. Check out the live stream of Dragon Sports at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon Sports to the world.
Freeman probably felt like he had to redeem himself after the holding penalty was on him. He goes, I got to get this ball into the end zone. So, Coach, give me the ball. And he got into the end zone. That's his 3rd touchdown on the year.
And again,
Matt Freeman.
It was great perimeter blocking and great non-blocking by some of the linemen who drew back instead of take the block to the back. Connor Ross puts a foot into it. End over end kick, short, taken at the 10-yard line, up to the 20. Cuts back, trying to get outside. Number 33, Brian Jamison. And he was run out of bounds where it'll be first down near the 15-yard line. He was up near the 20 trying to get more yardage, reversed his field, and the pursuit caught up with him.
Just so you know, the Blackhawks have a running back, number 45, that we don't have on our roster, and we've talked to the staff up top on the top of the press box, and they don't know who it is either. So.
Oh, okay.
So it's number 45 tonight. He's in the single back position right now.
1st and 10 for the Blackhawks. Quarterback keeper around the left side, brought down. Casey Coltrane again, second time we've called his name tonight, on the quarterback keeper.
Talked a little bit earlier at the outset, I should say, about they have not thrown the ball or gotten the ball so far to number 17, Alec Ward, a junior. And you see him at the top of the formation right there. See if they look to get to him the ball. One of their playmakers.
He's in motion. He gets the toss, and he's caught in the backfield and dropped. Ward on the carry, dropped by Josh Wench, and I was trying to see who else was in on the tackle for the Dragons. Luke Schmidt in on the tackle. So that brings up 3rd down and 13 from the 12. Quick moving first quarter, 2:30 left. In the gun with 2 backs, 2 receivers left side. Back looks, throws, caught, complete. Brought down is number 8, Darren Mack. That's going to be a first down for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, Lake Orion on this side of the field had kind of double-teamed number 17, Alec Ward. And Barish did a nice job of looking elsewhere, finding Mack for a big first down for the Blackhawks.
Barish breaks him out under center. Backs in an offset eye behind him. Handoff up the middle, little dance move to the left. Stood up and stopped by Sam Kinney, or Isaac Kinney. Sam's moved on. Gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Well, right about the 2-minute mark was the first pass we'd had thrown in the game. 2nd and 5 from the 32. Tight formation for the Blackhawks. Double wing. Motion to backside, and brought down was number 45. He's got enough yardage for a first down.
A little counter coming back the other way to number 45. They had ball flow or a fake going the opposite way to, again, their playmaker, Alec Ward. Came underneath with a little counter, little inside handoff to number 45 for the first down. So it's that mixed direction. It's that the trickery that you're going to see a lot of out of Bloomfield Hills tonight. They're going to find different ways to get the ball to different people.
Toss back to number 45. He's up near the 40 and dropped. Isaac Kinney again in on the stop. Along with Mason Slocum, number 54. Be second down and 9. In the last 15 seconds of the first quarter, and they're not going to run a play. A quick moving first quarter. Dragons lead the Bloomfield Hills Blackhawks 7-0.
Filmmakers, be ready. The Wildwood Film Festival will be kicking off on Friday, October 12th at the ONTV studio located at 1349 Joslin Road. Teams will be given their requirements, which include a prop, location, and a line of dialogue that is to be included in their film. You will have until 6 p.m. on Tuesday, October 16th to submit the film. On Wednesday the 17th, the films will be viewed and judged at 7 p.m. at the Oxford 7 Cinema in Oxford. Open to all ages. It costs $25 to enter, and the winners will be chosen in adult and youth categories 16 and under. The contest benefits the LOHS Students Offering Support Program. To register, go to oriontv.org or call 248-693-3377.
And once again, replays for tonight and all season long are underwritten by Jets Pizza. Larry Buss and his crew at Jets Pizza on M24 are proud supporters of Orion Neighborhood Television since 2009. Jets Pizza supplies catering for our cast and crew. Second down and 9 for the Blackhawks on the 41-yard line. Back to throw. Look, going deep. Got a receiver and overthrew him. Ball was intended for Darren Mack, and he just overthrew him by about 5 yards.
Yeah, decent looking ball, but on that third and long play, but like you said, a little, actually now it's third and long, correction. But that's one thing that Bloomfield Hills has struggled with this year. I mentioned at the outset again, they're only averaging 14.5 points a game. In the last 4 games, they've scored 6, 7, 7, and 7. So they're really struggling putting points on the board, which obviously makes it difficult to win football games. But they got to find a way to open up the field a little bit and move the chains here on this 3rd and 9.
Cade Manzo is in at free safety. Dropped back, got pressure, looked setting up a screen and almost picked off. It hit the ground. Kobe Manzo had it, but it hit the ground as he picked it up. Good call from the official right on top of the play.
Will we ever get to the point in high school where you can throw a red flag and challenge it?
I hope not.
No, that was a good call.
Because they'd have to come up to us for the replays. And I don't know if we want to do that. So it's 4th down, number 14. Number 4, Christian Ferris into punt. High, short kick, fair catch called for and taken by Mitch Howell on the Dragon 34-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. 11:41 left in the second quarter.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, this is homecoming tonight, and Coach Blackstock, when I were talking this week, he said he surprised the team last night at the end of practice with this new look, the new uniforms out there. We'll talk about this after this play.
Lauer from the gun, drops, looks, dodges, he's going to run it, takes it up back to the original line of scrimmage where it'll be, they're going to give him maybe a half yard. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, he had the number 83, Michael Kramer, coming in at Lauer, and Lauer did a nice job avoiding that pressure and at least getting just a little over the line of scrimmage. But he said because it's homecoming, he wanted to go with a little old school look. There's no names in the back of these Lake Orion jerseys because Homecoming is all about our alumni and the community, and so the name on the front is the focus, Lake Orion. So that's pretty cool, I thought. And he surprised the kids with these uniforms last night.
2nd down. Handoff. Marlon Robinson, he's in the open. He's going to go. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. He got outside and nobody touched him.
How's that for a drive?
Wow.
Look at this cut. Manzo block on the edge. Great vision backside and seeing that opening. That's what you got to have as a running back. You got to have great vision. Marlon had it that time and has had it all year long. And once you get him in the open field, good luck trying to catch him, because that's what's going to happen.
Connor Ross on for the extra point. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 10:48 left here in the second. Dragons increase their lead to 14-0. Go mobile with Orion Neighborhood Television anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our studio, see upcoming events, and watch ONTV programs in high definition on demand. Orion Neighborhood Television, working to bring Lake Orion to the world.
Marlon Robinson, that's his 2nd touchdown of the year. And a big one at that.
65 yards.
But, you know, it's good to have the vision like that, like he did. But at the same time, look what the guys up front are doing. They're making the holes to allow them to have the vision to get in the open field and score.
And to have that cutback ability.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Blackstock, it may be his program, but he's always coaching up special teams. Three deep for Bloomfield Hills. High short kick taken on the 10-yard line up to the 15-20. Cut outside to the 25 is number 38, who I don't have on my program either.
A number of guys on this roster that aren't listed, which is unfortunate. We like to acknowledge them and announce them.
But we can tell you Nick Powell made the stop. So 1st down and 10 for the Blackhawks from their own 34-yard line. Break out with a 2-wide double wing look. Handoff inside. It almost looked like it went to one of the offensive linemen. It did. Number 66, Seth Wilson, turned around and took the handoff and got swarmed under. And it's an offensive lineman's dream. And it'll bring up 2nd down after a 1-yard loss.
I mentioned earlier, but Bloomfield Hills has got to try to create trickery oftentimes because they have been struggling this year. So you look for plays like that, which obviously that one didn't work, but continue to look out for those.
Alex Ward in a slot left, 2 backs in the backfield. Single wide right. Looking. Breaks 1 tackle and gets down. Barish gets up to the 38-yard line where Casey Coltrane again makes a tackle.
That's the one thing Coach Loria said, you know, as they're coming into the season. I know we're 7 games already into the season, but he said they're coming in inexperienced on both sides of the football. They lost a lot of seniors. Again, they had lost a quality quarterback and wide receiver who, I was looking back at his statistics, Ty Slazinski, wide receiver for them, set a Michigan high school football record catching 22 footballs in 1 game last year.
Wow. For some teams, that's a season.
Right.
Caught by number 4, Christian Ferris. I'm sorry, it's Carlton Ferris. Is that what yours says?
Christian. Yep.
Okay. It'll be a first down for the Blackhawks right at midfield. 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. Dragons up 14-0.
Well, when you got the time like Barish did that time to throw, you throw a nice ball and nice completion. That's what Bloomfield Hills is going to have to continue to do. Provide the protection up front.
Darren Mack split wide left. Double wing look, one back in the backfield. Barish hands off to number 45. Breaks a tackle, trying to get outside, and is swarmed under about the 44-yard line. It'll be second down. I'm going to try at halftime to. Did they have a number 45 in
They didn't. They went up top to the press spot, to the camera guys up top, and the camera guys up top for Bloomfield Hills didn't even know. So.
How about the spotters next door? Did you check with them?
Did not check over there, no.
So it's second down and 7 from the Lake Orion 47-yard line. 2 wideouts, backs in an offset eye. Handoff. Number 18, Dominic. Nope, number 18 isn't on the roster either. But he had a carry down to the 45-yard line.
It's a big third down play for Bloomfield Hills. They got the ball in the Lake Orion half of the field, and it really helped them get back in this football game. They need to convert on this, keep the chains moving.
3rd and 5. Back, looks, throws, caught. First down, Bloomfield Hills down to the 30-yard line. Caught by Darren Mack. Isaac Kinney in on the tackle. It'll be first down. Huge third down conversion for the Blackhawks.
Just got that. Barish just got that off before Wench got to him. Hit him good, but clean hit by Wench. It's one of those things, if this is the NFL and Wench fell on him, you never know what they'd call.
So 1st and 10, handoff to number 18. He's got a first down to the 20-yard line. Yeah, last year it was what's a catch. This year is, what is roughing the passer?
Right.
Not quite a first down. It's about a half a yard short. They have to get to the 20-yard line, and the nose of the ball is right about the 20 or the 20 and a half.
Good drive so far for the Blackhawks.
They've converted when they've had to convert. Barish under center. And Wench jumped. So that'll be a first down for the Blackhawks. First down by penalty.
Lake Orion comes in tonight about 5.5 penalties per game. That's the first one on the Dragons tonight.
Yeah. So first down and 10 from the 16. 2 wideouts, 2 tight ends. Toss back. Near the 10-yard line. Wench on the tackle along with Casey Coltrane on number 45, who we still don't know who he is. Ball's marked now on the 12. We're at second down.
Well, whoever he is, he's running the ball hard.
Running the ball well.
And again, like I said, we'd like to be able to acknowledge him and give him due credit. But when we're provided rosters that don't have those players, It's hard to do just that. We'll track him down and get a name.
2nd down and 6. Handoff to number 45. He tripped over his own lineman and went down. Ari Curtis secured the tackle for the Dragons.
Yeah, it looked like he had a shot to get to the edge and keep running. But I couldn't tell if it was backside guard or what was pulling, and he tripped over him. And in high school football, when the knee goes down, doesn't matter if you're touched or not, you're down.
So 3rd down after no gain. Ball's marked on the 12. 4:20 left to go. Come out in a 2-wide look. 2 tight ends on the left side. Back looks, throws to the end zone. Touchdown for the Blackhawks. He had his backside in bounds and his legs were out of bounds. And they called it a touchdown. Let's watch it again.
That's a nice ball by Barish. He throws that ball only where Matt could catch the ball. Let's see if we can see.
Yep.
That left knee looks like it got in and got down. Obviously, he caught the ball. The question is whether the knee or the feet were in. It was in, and it's now 14-7. Nice drive by the Blackhawks.
Extra point is good. 3:55 left here in the 2nd quarter. Now 14-7. DVD copies can be purchased by calling Orion Neighborhood Television at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies, 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060.
I was reading an article online today about football, and they're talking about what statistic in the game of football, and they were referring to college football in this case. I don't know if it's true for NFL or even high school football. They're talking about college football, and they're saying what is the number one statistic that correlates with winning and losing? And my first thought was turnover margin. You know, whether you win, you know, the turnover battle and stuff, you have more possessions, you have more opportunities to score. I thought that's what it was. I was not right. It was defensive pass efficiency. And what they did was evaluate the teams that were in the top 10 in defensive pass efficiency on the positive side and then on the negative side. It was eerie how that statistic correlated with wins and losses. And I say that because I think there's something to that. You know, you don't stop anybody in the air. It's difficult to win football games. So I think that's what Bloomfield Hills is going to have to do if they want to get back in this football game. They did with that drive.
Short kickoff. Still on his feet is Robinson up near the 35-yard line. After a short kickoff from Ben Johnson. And the Dragons take over 1st and 10.
You know, a statistic like that might not be as prevalent or one-sided, if you will, at the high school level because maybe there isn't as much passing as the collegiate level. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was a very interesting statistic to hear about.
Looking down on the Dragons sideline, I believe that's Coach Blackstock's dad down there coaching up on the sideline for the Dragons. Mitch Howell around the far side. He's got a 1st down and more up near midfield. Again, that perimeter blocking allowed him to get out, turn the corner and get upfield.
Yep. Howell carried the ball just a couple times last week, but averaged 6.5 yards a carry. And you see in the perimeter speed that Lake Orion's got. You got Freeman, you got Howell, you got Robinson, you got DeBrinket's been running inside the tackles, but certainly they're maximizing that speed, using it to their advantage.
Coming this side now is Matt Freeman. He's over the 45 down to the 44. And Brandon Robinson, on that previous play, he was the perimeter block that sprung him. So second down and about 3. And Bloomfield Hills is going to take a timeout and talk it over with 3:10 left here in the second quarter.
The other thing Coach Blackstock said to me earlier this week, he said, any fun trivia? He goes, how many ex-NFL players are coaching in this game tonight? And I didn't know the answer, and he gave me the answer.
Well, I know that Ali Haji Sheikh,
right?
I saw him out early today working with his kickers.
Yep. And Bloomfield Hills also has Lomas Brown, who is a former Lions legend, offensive tackle, is the color commentary tater for the Lions as well. And Eric Guychek from Lake Orion.
From Lake Orion.
Former NFL player as well. So 3 of them. And he also mentioned that there's 3 ex-Michigan Wolverines coaching in tonight's game. 2 on the Bloomfield Hills side and 1 on the Lake Orion side. So kind of interesting.
So second down, handoff up the middle. Kobe Manzo, first down and more inside the 35 down to the 32. It'll be first down Dragons. And that, boy, you talk about quick hitter. That was a quick hitter up the middle.
Yeah, quick hitter. He's been lead blocking a lot for Robinson and DeBrinket, but now Kobe gets his shot. He leads the team in rushing, coming into tonight's game 349 yards, averaging 5.3 yards a game. And we've talked all year about how hard he runs. Fun to see him run the football.
Kobe gets jammed up at the line of scrimmage this time, but you talked about it before on that previous run where you just had a wall of green for the offensive lineman just sealing off the Bloomfield Hills defense.
That was a wall of white that time.
Yeah. Loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Michael Kramer in there on the stop, number 83, and a host of other Blackhawks.
Mitch Howell in the slot coming this side now. Blaze had pressure, had to get rid of it. Had pressure from number 9, Darren. Number 9 isn't on our program either.
Yeah, he had Freeman wide open in the flat and just had pressure.
He had to get rid of it.
He did, and threw it behind him, and tough ball for Freeman to catch.
So 3rd down and 11 for the Dragons. From the gun, Blaze rolling right, looking, throwing. Got a receiver. Got Brandon Robinson for the first down. Good route by Robinson. He knew where the stick was.
Yeah.
Got there, stopped, and waited for the ball.
Lauer rolls out. Gets to the. There's the previous play behind Freeman. But Lauer rolls out on that play. Robinson knows exactly where the sticks are. Gets the defensive back to sit high on him and come back inside the sticks for a first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 20. Sam Starch split wide left, toss back to Matt Freeman. He gets maybe a yard to the 19. Alec Ward on the stop, playing both ways for the Blackhawks.
Manzo looks to lead does a nice job on the edge, putting his guy down, but it was the other Blackhawks defenders who ended up making the play.
Trips right for the Dragons. Throw over the middle. Just a little high for Mitch Howell. It'll be 3rd down.
God, Mitch had that right paw on that football. And as he had that right paw on the football, he was hit by the free safety and knocked that ball incomplete.
Andy Van Heck is out of this game today, but I see him down there with Coach Fisher, and he's coaching up the same way Coach Fisher is. Talked to him before the game, and he wants to be in there. He's got a back issue, and we hope he can get back in real soon. So third down, Blaze rolling right, looks, throws to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Mitch Howell. Mitch came across the end zone, and as the defender stayed on an even plane, Mitch broke to the corner, and Blaze put the ball right there.
Yeah, you see Almany, number 15, get his hand up at the last second. I thought he was going to be able to knock it down. And boy, perfect ball, perfect catch. Nice spacing, nice timing, touchdown Dragons.
Good concentration to bring that in, because I think it was tipped at the end. Connor Ross in for the extra point. Mitch Howell's the holder. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:20 left here in the second quarter. 21-7 Dragons.
That's Mitch Howell's 4th touchdown of the season. During this sports season, ONTV will be covering a large variety of games. Our sports coverage will include varsity football, varsity boys soccer, girls swimming, varsity girls volleyball, and the Powder Puff football game, which Doug did yesterday. Select games will be streamed live on NFHSnetwork.com and will be replayed on our channel Comcast 10 and AT&T 99. Visit OrionONTV.org for our program schedule. How was that game yesterday?
You know what? It was a very close game. It came down to a missed extra point, but the juniors gave the seniors everything they could handle.
So all the juniors coming back next year?
All the juniors will come back as seniors, and it seems like between the year they're juniors and the year they're seniors, they learn what the game's all about. Yeah, it's fun, but they take it seriously. There's no question. Connor Ross approaches, puts a foot into it, short kick, taken at the 20-yard line by one of the linemen, and he's going to be swallowed up.
Ryan Muskelly touching the ball in the kick return.
Ashton Kroll in on the tackle, along with Caden Beck. So the Blackhawks will take over 1st and 10 from the 20, we'll call it the 22-yard line. 1:16 left in the second quarter. Of course, we'll have all our halftime festivities. It'll be a 20-minute halftime today. Marcus Brown is in at one cornerback. Mitch Duffy at the, Sam Perillo at the other. Handoff up the middle, and he goes nowhere. Again, number 45 on the carry.
Tell you what, DeBrinket was being blocked, and somehow he was able to, as he's being blocked, come off and trip up number 45. That's a heck of a football play. That's a heck of a play.
Jack DeBrinket's had a good season. He's done it all. He's punted, run the ball well, played good defense.
5'10", 180 listed.
Yep. Andy's a senior. .106, and if you're Coach Loria, you go in halftime and say, you know what, you've kept the game close. That's all they've asked for. Keep it close at the half and try to get something going in the second half. They've had a couple good drives.
Mm-hmm. They have, and that's what they've got to do. They got to work on keeping the ball, sustaining drives, keeping Lake Orion's offense off the field. Barris can certainly throw a nice ball. You saw in the touchdown pass, even the ball he overthrew Darren Mack. Nice looking ball. They just got to be able to find a guy like Mack. They got to be able to find Alec Ward, which they have not done a decent job of tonight. And so, got to find those holes. Lake Orion's double teaming Ward quite a bit.
Twins left, single wide out right. Drops, scrambling, looking, got pressure, looks, throws. and incomplete, out of bounds.
Yeah, they're just blanketing Ward. I mean,
DeBrincat had the pressure on Ward. And Ari Curtis had pressure on Barish. He had to get rid of it.
Yeah, he did. He got pressured, and Mac did a nice job of Alec Ward did a nice job of coming back for the football, but Barish threw it a little low and outside.
Ward comes out in the slot right from the gun with 2 backs. Handoff up the middle to number 45.
You know,
ball's loose, but they're going to call it down.
Lake Orion takes a quick timeout, which is smart. The clock's still running. They called the timeout. They lost about 4 seconds there on the clock. Hopefully they go back up to the booth and make that change. But with 3 timeouts left and the ball on this side of the field, Lake Orion takes a smart timeout.
Yeah, they're doing that now. They're going to reset the clock. The line judge came over to Coach Blackstock, and he's calling upstairs. And the spotters upstairs will yell down to the clock operator. Still showing 53 seconds.
It was at 50.4, so they did put some time back on.
So 53 seconds.
That's a situation just like in the first half after the first drive that Bloomfield Hills had. Short punt resulted in a short field for Lake Orion, allowing Lake Orion to put their first 7 points on the board. I think that's what the Dragons are hoping for this particular drive as well, or this particular play as well. Maybe a short punt or a nice return, get you a good field position. Maybe get 3, maybe get 7 out of before the half with 2 timeouts left.
It's 4th and 9, and I think they charged the wrong timeout because they show Bloomfield Hills with 1 and Lake Orion with all 3 of their timeouts. Mitch Howell standing back on his own 45. Pressure, high short kick, takes a Bloomfield Hills bounce down to the Lake Orion 49-yard line, where Lake Orion will take over with 43.2 seconds. Now they've been able to run the ball, but when you have this limited a time, you want to work the sidelines.
Work the sidelines. You do have 2 timeouts to use. Do you want to keep that for a field goal or what? But getting Lauer on the perimeter and running those flood concepts, something that Blaze has been very good at this year.
We haven't really seen him run the ball tonight either.
Hasn't had to.
Oh.
We got Robinson, you got Manzo, you got DeBrincat, you got Freeman, you got Howell. I mean, there's 5 guys I just listed right there.
Trips to the left. Manzo's a lone setback. Manzo gets the carry. He's got open field. Still on his feet down to the 35 to the 33. And the Dragons, well, they're going to call timeout while they reset the chains.
Someone's got to come off. There goes Manzo.
Dragons are coming. Hurry up. Robinson's now the running back. Blaze drops. Looks. He's got to get rid of it. He's going to run it and smartly runs out of bounds.
Oh, they called a late flag. Late flag.
Yeah, referee threw a late flag. We'll see what the call is. Usually if the referee throws it back, it's holding. We'll see.
Not really even close to play. Lauer was running out of bounds.
Yeah, and he showed heads up. He had the first down and just made a right turn. Chop block against Bloomfield Hills. So that's going to be 15 yards and a first down.
Interesting call. But one that Lake Orion will certainly take.
Absolutely. So the ball's going to be spotted at the 17-yard line, 21.9 seconds left. Dragons will have it 1st and 10.
with still 2 timeouts. Do you take it and go to the end zone?
Blaze from the gun. High snap, looks, throws. Got it. Freeman, touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons.
Boy, how that ball got through number 16 and number 17. Number 16, who is unnamed, and number 17, Alec Ward, I don't know, but what a strike by Lauer. Boom, right between the seam. Turn around, Freeman, touchdown. Beautiful ball, beautiful catch, and beautiful execution.
Matt just turned around and the ball was there. So Connor Ross in for the extra point. Mitch Howell will hold. 18.2 seconds left. Ball's down, kick is up, kick is good. It's now 28-7, Lake Orion.
That's a nice answer before the halftime. We were talking just minutes ago about 14-7 and Bloomfield Hills back in this football game. And Lake Orion real quickly turn around, puts 14 straight on the board.
Yeah. Orion Neighborhood Television is getting ready to launch our brand new internet radio station. You can create your own podcast or radio show or sign up to become a DJ. For more information on the radio station, give ONTV a call at 248-693-3377 or 248-693-1060. I was very glad to be a special guest on the OAA podcast. Right at the start of the season, Sammy Tamarino went to OAA Media Day, had a wealth of information, and did a good job on the podcast. Connor Ross puts a foot into it. High kick coming down and out of bounds at the 7. So West Bloomfield will take over with 18.2 seconds, down by 21.
We've talked a couple of times this year. You mentioned briefly at the beginning about numbers on the opposition. And Troy Athens came in here and had 26 kids on their roster. And Bloomfield Hills has certainly a little bit more than that, but that's one of the things as we get longer into the season, later into the season, later into games, that can often be issues for teams that have lesser numbers. And obviously we've known for a long time the numbers that Lake Orion puts out at the varsity level and at the younger levels as well. So
I noticed during the national anthem that Lake Orion was lined up from the 20 to about the 25, and Bloomfield Hills was like between the 40 to the 30. So first down for the Blackhawks, double wing formation, single back in the backfield. Handoff, number 45. He's up near midfield, down at the 48-yard line. And Bloomfield Hills calls their last time out with 9.4 seconds. And again, between the time I saw the official wave his arms for the timeout, another couple seconds ran off the clock. This is the same officiating crew that worked Lake Orion's opening game down at Michigan Stadium this year. They did a fine job that day. And they've done a fine job tonight.
Speaking of that, I'm amazed at how fast the high school football season goes.
Isn't that?
This is week 7 already.
Yeah.
Seems like we were just at Michigan Stadium.
And it's the first weekend in October. We used to end the season at Halloween.
Yes.
So 2nd down and 2. Twins this side. Double wing. Back, look, throws.
That's a nice open field tackle.
Out to Ward. Open field tackle by Sinai Palat. And I still haven't learned to pronounce his name right. And that's the last play of the first half. We're at halftime. The Lake Orion Dragons lead 28-7. Halftime is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
Activity night, dress-up days, picnic show, and Powder Puff game. Tonight, to the center of the field, please welcome the 2018 Varsity Dance and Cheer Team. Special thanks to DJ Scott, Mark Disjockey, the sponsors of the dance team. Ladies, the field is yours. Thank you, ladies. Now, please give a warm welcome to our 2018 marching band members and choir, conducted by Mr. Mike Steele. Please welcome our band as they play March of the Resistance, as well as our Dragon Fight song. Marching band, the field is yours. Thank you, Dragon Marching Band. At this time, we will prepare for the halftime show, where we'll be announcing and crowning the 2018
Court, King and Queen, and our representatives from the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior class. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 halftime show, sponsored by the Lake Orion Leadership Class. Introducing our first representatives from the class of 2022, the freshmen. Please welcome Catherine Manulian and Kyler Carson. Catherine is the daughter of Kirsten and Mark Manulian and the sister of Jackson. She's involved in club gymnastics, is in the youth group at her church, takes part in the Leadership 9 class, and plans on pursuing a career in special education. Kyler is the son of Dale and Lana Carson. Kyler participates in sports, including football and lacrosse. He's part of the Leadership 9 class and is a member of his church's youth group as well. He hopes to study engineering in the future. Again, freshman representatives, Catherine Manulian and Kyler Carson. Our representatives of the class of 2021, the sophomores. Please welcome Brooke Woodrum and Brendan Franz. Brooke is the daughter of Tracy and Jason Woodrum. She enjoys public speaking, working with kids, and plays basketball. She hopes to be a criminal defense attorney and is also a member of the Lake Orion Leadership Class. Brendan is the son of Daniel and Jennifer France. Brendan works at Orion Rental. He's a part of the forensics team and a member of the leadership class. He's the sophomore representative of SOS and is an actor and very involved in the productions at LOHS. In his future, he hopes to become an attorney as well. Please welcome Brendan and Brooke. Next up, the juniors, the class of 2020. Please welcome Molly Finstrom and Noah Lusk. Molly is the daughter of Brian and Kimberly Finstrom. She plays travel soccer and also is a member of the Dragons soccer team. She's in the leadership class and hopes to be a physical therapist in the future. Molly's also a member of the halftime committee today and helped put on the show before you. Noah is the son of Andy and Nora Lusk. He works at Subway and plays soccer as well. He hopes to study biology or chemistry in the future. Please welcome Molly and Noah. And now tonight for our senior representatives. This week, the entire student body voted on a king and a queen from the graduating class of 2019. Our representatives are as follows. Our first couple representatives, Michaela Allen and Carson Case. Michaela is the daughter of Patrice and Todd Allen. She runs varsity track, plays travel soccer, and is a captain of the varsity cheer team. She's involved in National Honor Society, a member of the leadership class, and hopes to attend the University of Michigan next year. Carson is the son of Doug and Luann Case. He participates in cross country, powerlifting, National Honor Society, DECA, and is the committee chair for tonight's halftime show. Carson plans to attend Grand Valley next year or the University of West Virginia and study supply chain management. We welcome tonight's first representatives from the class of 2019, Michaela and Carson. Our second representatives this evening is Sydney Gruppenhoff and Reed Marshall. Sydney is the daughter of Kim and Doug Gruppenhoff. She plays volleyball on the volleyball team, and in her future, she hopes to attend Grand Valley State and major in nursing. Reed is the son of Sean and Kelly Marshall. He is the goalie on the varsity hockey team. He has a dog and 2 older sisters. He has yet to decide where he wants to go to college, but he knows he wants to study business. Please welcome Sydney and Reed. Our third representatives this evening are Sophia Beatty and Justin Kepler. Sophia is the daughter of Monica and Ken Beatty. She runs cross country and works at Jets Pizza. She's a member of the National Honor Society and hopes to attend Michigan State University in the fall to study biology. Justin is the son of Jalen and Joe Kepler. He's a varsity cross-country athlete and a member of the track team. He works at Twin Lakes Golf Course and is on the National Honor Society. As an officer, the treasurer. He's also a member of our economics club. He also hopes to attend Michigan State University in the fall and major in accounting. Our fourth representatives are Nina Rossman and Alberto Hernandez. Nina is the daughter of Margaret and Nick Rossman. She is a captain on the varsity cheer team, editor-in-chief of the award-winning Dragon Yearbook, and a member of DECA and National Honor Society, as well as the Math Honor Society as well. She hopes to go to Arizona State University and study architecture in the fall. Alberto is the son of Norma and Alberto Hernandez. Berto is a varsity soccer player and a member of our varsity track team. He participates in DECA and also hopes to attend Michigan State University in the fall as a pre-med major. Again, please welcome Nina and Berto. Our final representatives this evening are Sophia Kanai and Nick Wise. Sophia is the daughter of Nancy and John Kanai. She's hoping to attend Michigan State University or Grand Valley in the fall and looks to pursue a degree in psychology or criminology. Nick is the son of Patty and Ken Wise. He's a member of the photography club and the yearbook staff. He hopes to go to Northern Michigan University to major in marketing. You can often find Nick at all of the Dragon events, taking photos for various LOHS teams. Again, our final representatives, Sophia and Nick. The young men and women standing before you represent some of the best here at LOHS. Let's give them one final round of applause. Now, approaching, slowly, but approaching, in the red convertible are the 2017 Homecoming King and Queen, come back to give up their crowns. Please welcome back to Dragon Stadium, as they come back, last year's King and Queen, Sierra Advent and Matt Martacci. Matt is attending Grand Valley State University, and Sierra is attending Michigan State. They've come back to homecoming to pass on their crowns to this year's King and Queen. This is the awkward part. Is the car needs to start while the last couple is reading. Yeah, seriously. No, we're good. Thanks. Before Sierra and Matt approach, we do want to make sure you're aware of tonight's show was student-run, student-produced, and student-executed by the members of the leadership class. So if you get a chance, give them a warm round of applause as well. Again, let's welcome back Matt and Sierra. I just love watching people take all the pictures.
No, I'm good, thanks.
We got 1 minute.
Come on, hurry.
We gotta get out the
I don't know
field.
what to tell you.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
trying.
Penalized if we don't get it done.
No, Chris gave us 5 extra minutes.
15-yard penalty.
I know.
Okay,
You've
I'm
already got
trying to
it.
hurry.
No?
Matt and Sierra, if you're ready, we're ready as well. Matt, please crown the 2018 Homecoming King, Justin Kepler. And Sierra, please crown the 2018 Homecoming Queen, Michaela Allen. Queen Michaela and King Justin, if you'll please step forward so that we can take many pictures. As the teams return to the field, we want to thank everyone for their participation tonight, and go Dragons!
Halftime coming to a close. The homecoming court has been crowned, and we're ready for the third quarter. Chris, very entertaining first half. Lake Orion moved the ball well, and West Bloomfield, that's the second. Bloomfield Hills has moved the ball well, but they just only been able to put it in the end zone once.
Yeah, they have, and Lake Orion offensively been able to. Maybe a couple times we mentioned 3, 4, 5 guys carrying the football and putting points on the board for the team. DeBrinken and Manzo and Howell and Freeman and Robinson. And when you've got multiple guys to go to, it's tough to be able to focus on one. Lake Orion defensively has done a nice job. We talked at the outset, done a nice job of tying down Alec Ward, their slot receiver, number 17. A lot of times they're double teaming him, and so he hasn't been able to be a threat. And so, and you know what? They've lived up to the keys to the game that we talked about at the beginning, the Hokomo, the homecoming momentum. They've had a lot of momentum. And when Bloomfield Hills scored their touchdown to make it 14-7, Lake Orion answered with 2 touchdowns of their own. So it's been a very good first half for the Dragons. And, you always go in and make adjustments at halftime, but when you go in and you're up 28-7, it's a lot easier to make adjustments if need be, and you feel better about your football team.
Our third quarter of action is underwritten by Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. Their 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. And the scoreboard for the second half of this game is brought to you by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003. We mentioned that Bloomfield Hills will receive the second half kickoff. They'll be moving south to north. Wind is not much of a factor. The flag is hanging fairly limp up in the northeast corner of the end zone.
I'm not sure what the delay is starting the second half. There's only 3 officials out there on the field at this point.
Yeah,
it was a extended halftime, if you will. It's even being extended that much more.
Yeah, we're missing 2 officials out there.
They got caught up in the homecoming activities maybe too.
The back judge may have been crowned homecoming king.
And he just took his trek around the track in the nice vehicle. No, it's not the official. I just checked. It's not.
So the Dragons are going to do another quick jog up and down. Usually the officials go into the tool shed that is behind the home stands, and I think the umpire just went over to the Bloomfield Hills sideline and explained something, because Bloomfield Hills is doing the same thing the Dragons did, trying to stay loose out there.
Now, there's a lot of people here tonight, homecoming, but I don't think it's because they're waiting in the concession line,
no.
or waiting to get into the bathroom to come back out. There we go.
Yeah.
We've got them back.
Okay, we got all 5. Yeah, there is a good crowd. I stuck my head out at halftime, and there's a few empty seats out there, but not many. Good crowd. So Connor Ross has it teed up. Line drive kick taken at the 8, up to the 15, over the 20, and jammed up about the 27-yard line is Kobe Reed, number 38. We started to get a couple names to numbers during halftime. So West Bloomfield will take over 1st and 10 from their own, we'll call it the 28-yard line. Nose of the football is right on the 28. And they'll take over 1st and 10. And Andrew Barish continues at quarterback. Sorry, Chris.
No, go ahead.
Tight formation for the Blackhawks. Toss back, number 5, Jason Gasco on the carry. He gets maybe 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
I was about to say the first half was seemed very quick. It seemed like the halftime was longer than the first half.
That always happens at homecoming. So 2nd down and 8. Ball is on the 30.
I think one of the things you're seeing tonight on both sides of the football is a much faster team in green and white. You know, that's a nice catch.
Nice catch by Darren Mack.
You know that
he was sliding down and he had Sam Perillo all over him.
Yeah, he threw it. You know, he was running towards the Lake Orion sideline, and that ball was thrown behind him. As he's sliding towards the Lake Orion sideline, he reaches to his back hip and catches that ball nice and low for a 1st down. But I was about to say, I think both sides of the football, you're seeing that Lake Orion is much faster than the Blackhawks team on both sides of the football, special teams as well.
Single back in the backfield, handoff up the middle, met and driven back is number 11, Hunter Neely. He looked like he was going in with a head of steam and got met by the front of that Dragon line, led by Ari Curtis, and just went backwards. Give him a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Joe Cady playing the nose, and he's not your prototypical nose tackle.
What do you mean, 5'11", 185 is not?
But he's done a great job this year. 2nd down. Throws across the middle. Has Ward, and Ward is brought down on a 49. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
You talked about Katie. I mean, a lot of times at the youth, middle, high school level, you can put a smaller defensive line on the nose, and he's that quick and can disrupt a lot of things up front. It's tougher for some of those bigger guys to get your hands on a quick guy like that. But they finally, Bloomfield Hills finally went to Ward, finally got him a ball, short of the 1st down though.
He split wide left, I formation in the backfield. 3rd down, toss back. Close to the 1st down is number 45, Jason Casco.
Boy, Hastings came from his free safety spot coming downhill. He saw Toss coming to the short side of the field. Hastings came down, had a chance to make a tackle in the backfield, but ended up stumbling as he's about to touch Gasco. And they're gonna call it 1st down and 10 for the Blackhawks. You know, if Hastings doesn't stumble as he's about to approach the ball carrier, that's a tackle for a loss, a TFL.
So 1st and 10, tight formation, double wing. Handoff around this side. And Don Luby took a shot, but got right back up again. That was Jason Gasco on the carry. It's not the first shot that Don Luby's ever taken in his career.
Josh Wench is mad at himself. He thought he had Gasco in the backfield, and Gasco provided just a little stutter step, and he was able to run away from Wench, but you could see Wench's frustration.
2nd down and 6. Trips to the right, Twins left. From the gun. Back, getting pressure, looks, throws, almost. It's incomplete, was almost intercepted by Marcus Brown coming in on the defender.
Yeah, the pressure on Barish forced him to have to throw behind Christian Ferris, number 4, the sophomore, and don't know that he would have gotten many yards had he caught the ball, but that's a big 3rd down for Bloomfield Hills if they want to get back into this football game.
3rd and 6 on the Lake Orion 45.
Look for number 17 in the slot, Alec Ward.
Back, looking, throws, broken up and intercepted, but this is coming back because they are going to say that Sam Perillo climbed the back of number 8, Darren Mack, and drew the interference penalty. There it is, pass interference against the Dragons. And really, he made a pretty good play.
Let's see if we can see in the bottom of our screen here. Good protection up front by the Blackhawks. I think that's a good call.
Got there a little early.
Yep. I think it's a good call.
So it'll be 1st down for the Blackhawks. The ball's going to be marked on the 22-yard line. It's a spot foul. And Coach Blackstock is not happy.
A 22-yard penalty.
I think they're trying. They're
no
saying
way
that the spot.
The ball was at the 47-yard line, I thought, wasn't it?
Yeah.
46, excuse me. The scoreboard says 46.
But even so, now the ball's marked on the 34-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10, and everybody settles down.
Talk it through, get it corrected. That's exactly how they should have handled it, and they did.
Barish sets him up. They stay with a tight formation, single back in the backfield with a double wing. And now we have, Bloomfield Hills is going to take a timeout.
Coach Loria is hot.
Yeah, I think he wanted the original spot, and he's not going to get it. And the officials are staying right in the middle of the field. So while we have a timeout, we will again tell you about Larry Buss and the great crew at Jets Pizza, located at 1091 South Lapeer Road. They've been a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics since 2009. Jets supplies catering for cast and crew. Thank you, Larry, for your continued support. 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks from the 34. Barish from the gun. Drops, looks, going deep. Got a receiver. And they're just going to call it incomplete. They got tangled up back there with Marcus Brown, and the ball was overthrown anyhow.
It's a long throw from this side of the field. This hash, the near hash mark. Barish does a nice job. There's, again, protection up front. Nice job by the Blackhawks. Safety comes over the top to help out, but
Well, hit him on the hands.
No call. No call. Marcus Brown right in Alec Ward's back pocket.
If you're on this sideline, it was a great call. So 2nd down and 10, 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Handoff up the middle. Jason Gasco stopped by DeBrincat. He shot the gap and just grabbed a hold of an ankle and brought him down.
Yeah. Isaac Kinney is the one who set the edge and forced Gasco to come up inside to where DeBrincat was, and DeBrincat makes that ankle tackle for a loss.
So that brings up 3rd down and 11. And I noticed that the Blackhawks brought in a number 44 who's not on our roster.
These are, I was going to say September call-ups like baseball,
Like
but it's, we're in October now, so.
So 3rd down and 11. Twins right, single wide out left, 2 backs in the backfield. Barish looks, throws, got a receiver for a 1st down at the 21. Marcus Brown on the coverage. That was number 10, Diego Badallo. And that was the thing, knew where the sticks were and just sat and waited for the ball to come to him.
Tell you what, I like the way Barish throws the ball. You know, if he's got the time, he can get his feet set. He throws a nice strike to his guys, and they just got to do a little bit more of that consistently.
1st and 10 from the 21, 6:45 to go in the 3rd. Tight formation again. Handoff on a misdirection to number 12, Bailey Snyder. Up to about the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that's just a simple play where you look like you're running toss to the left, and you come underneath, and you run that little inside handoff to Snyder, and a nice big gain on 1st down for the Blackhawks.
Cade Manzo on the stop from his safety position.
Gasco's been the guy that they've gone to on the ground, and obviously you got to watch out for a guy like that. He's on the right wing right now.
2nd and 1. Back, got pressure, got caught, and down he goes. Wench on the tackle. Isaac Kinney came in and helped up at the end.
Is there a flag on the play? There is a flag. Or is it a towel? I can't tell.
It's red, so I think it's a towel, although they are calling holding. That is a flag.
Maybe it's
just a dark yellow
pink flag. Is it a pink flag?
I don't think so.
The Blackhawks are wearing the pink socks and the pink under gear.
So they're going to back them up 10.
That particular play, Parrish didn't get a deep drop, and before he knew it, as he's about to throw, Wench is right in his face for the sack, but that's one of the few times we've seen Wench not have the time to throw.
Backs it up to the 24-yard line. Barish throws complete and out of bounds short of the 1st down at the 12. Got the penalty yardage back. It'll be 3rd down. Be 3rd and 1 from the 12.
Big number 83, Michael Kramer, the tight end, comes in a situation like that, like this. We talked about him earlier in the game on the defensive side of the football. Again, I wish they had heights and weights listed for the Blackhawks. It would be nice.
2 wide out, single back in the backfield. Toss back. 1st down and more. Gasco into the end zone for a touchdown. He got ahead of steamrolling and rumbled right into the end zone.
Flag thrown in the end zone on the far side of the field. Well after this touchdown was scored.
They may get them for a little celebration. We'll look at see what the referee calls. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Bloomfield Hills. That will be enforced on the kickoff. Number 27, Sydney Huston, in for the extra point. We watched her kick in pregame. She's got a pretty good leg. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:05 left here in the third. It's now 28-14 Dragons. And again, Orion Neighborhood Television is gearing up for the first annual Ride the Oaks for Holy Spokes this Sunday, October 7th. It's $40 per team with a max of 5 people per team, or $20 per individual. All proceeds benefit Holy Spokes of Lake Orion. Registration forms are available at www.oriontv.org. For more information, call 248-693-3377. Great cause. There was an article in the local paper recently about the work that Holy Spokes does, rehabbing old bicycles for the underprivileged, and this is going to be a great day this Sunday out for Holy Spokes.
That's really neat. That's really neat. I was down in Dallas this past weekend, and we had some Detroit Lions legends meet up with some Dallas Cowboy legends, and they did something very similar down in the Dallas community for kids, and the smiles on those kids' faces when they were presented those bikes, that was very, very special. And certainly this cause is great to hear about as well.
So the ball is teed up on the 25-yard line. Dragons should get it in really good field position. Line drive kick, picked up at the 27-yard line, up over midfield, and he's gonna go. There is, oh boy. There was a scrum out at the 35-yard line. 2 Dragons and number 66, Seth Wilson, for the Blackhawks. And during the scrum, number 79, Jesus Cruz, came off the bench and joined in the melee. It should be post-possession of the touchdown. So we'll wait till the officials sort it all out.
I don't know. I don't know what Cruz was thinking.
Look, I'm all for defend your teammates as much as the next guy, but keep your head on your shoulders.
Oh, and you can't come off the bench to do anything.
No.
I mean, that's...
No.
It was 2 guys on 1, 2 Dragon kick returners, kick return team against 1 Blackhawk guy. They were obviously winning that battle, but it had nothing to do with the play that was going on.
No.
And then Cruz came from where he came, and that's why the long discussion at midfield.
In the meantime, it was Marcus Robinson that took the kick back about 75 yards. I didn't get a final notification of where he picked the ball up, and they have not signaled touchdown yet, and I am probably sure that Mr. Cruz will be in street clothes next week. And right now the Dragon defense and special teams are getting an earful. We've said it for years. We saw it, both sides of the ball. You got to keep your head about you, and you never leave the sidelines to go join in a scrum.
They're just calling. I mean, the play was still going on. the touchdown hadn't quite happened but the flags were thrown after the touchdown happened, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we've got 2 flags near the Lake Orion 40, and there is a flag down at the Bloomfield Hills 11. So we'll see what happens when this all gets sorted out. And I know the fans are getting a little restless about it, but the officials will take the time to get it right.
Which is again what you need to do. You know,
Yes.
you got to control order in the game, and you got to make sure that's done right. And if there is a potential ejection going on, they got to make sure it's the right person.
Exactly.
And did the officials actually see him come off the bench to do just that?
And there was an official right on top of the play.
Right.
So, yeah, he was seen coming off the bench.
Well, and then as soon as Cruz was pulled off the field, he went right to the bench and
he hasn't moved.
No.
And they're doing the right thing. They're calling the team together. Take a knee. Coach Blackstock's going to talk to them, and the message is this: keep your heads. Things happened. Keep your cool.
I honestly don't know if I've heard about these things happening where a player comes off the bench while the plays, but I honestly don't know if I've ever witnessed that live.
Yeah.
The old story back when in the Cotton Bowl, I believe it was, Alabama. I think Alabama and somebody, where the players intercept and return for it's going to be a touchdown. It comes off the sideline, makes a tackle.
Let's see what the calls are. They have unsportsmanlike conduct with an ejection against unsportsmanlike conduct against Bloomfield Hills. The penalty's offset, and then we have holding against Lake Orion. And looks like holding against Bloomfield Hills. So what the result is going to be is they will probably re-kick.
After all that, a do-over.
But we do have an ejection, and it is Jesus Cruz. So he will be in street play. What happens when there is an ejection in the game? The player is ejected, and he is also out for the following week's game. So Jesus will not dress against Clarkston. And Coach Blackstock is going to walk out, get his kickoff return team around and say, look, let's make sure we have our 11 people. Keep your cool. So again, we have unsportsmanlike conduct against Lake Orion, and there is an ejection.
You talked about after Bloomfield Hills scored this second touchdown, how they, the penalty that they had, and it was enforced on the kickoff. You don't want to lose your cool. You were celebrating a touchdown. Well, you know what? Back-to-back plays, the touchdown, and after that, and then the almost a touchdown, almost a kick return, and then this. Both teams, you can't afford to.
We didn't see how the scrum started. We did see that there were 2 Dragons involved and 1 Bloomfield Hills player. And then Jesus came off the bench, which is the no-no. Right now, the ball is teed up on the Lake Orion 45. So we'll see. Now,
they might be putting a hands team out there for Lake Orion just in case it's on this side of the 50-yard line. You never know if Bloomfield Hills might want to consider the onside kick.
Good job by Lake Orion of getting their personnel right in a short amount of time. I've never seen that before either. There's the onside kick. High hop goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line, where it'll be Lake Orion's ball, 1st and 10.
Yeah, it did not go the mandatory 10 yards before Bloomfield Hills could touch it.
And the kicker's approach was something new, where they all ran toward the ball, then stopped and backed up and
You like that?
did it again. The guys I always coached on kickoffs couldn't get it right. They would have kept going.
Keep going.
So the ball's marked on the 36-yard line. The Dragons take over, 1st and 10. Nick Raffini checks in at a tight end position.
We're under 4 minutes here in the third quarter, and this is the Lake Orion's first offensive
Yes.
possession.
Handoff up the middle. DeBrinket over midfield into West Bloomfield territory at the 43-yard line. Good run on 1st down.
You know, and we've been able to see that quite a bit tonight. The big chunk yardage on the ground. They're definitely taking last week's game into tonight's game. Whether it's DeBrinket, whether it's Manzo, whether it's Freeman, whether it's Robinson.
I formation in the backfield. Lauer under center. Handoff to DeBrinket again. He's up near the 35-yard line. Eric Garcia, amongst others, in on the tackle for Bloomfield Hills. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
You know, if you watched any of the Lake Orion games early on in the season, we talked about Lake Orion needing to establish an offensive identity.
Yeah.
There's no question they've found what that identity is.
And Blaze hasn't had to throw the ball a lot. Number 30, Joe Cady. Touchdown Lake Orion Dragons. He stumbled through the line, and it looked like everybody kind of slowed up a little bit, and Joe turned on the Jets and ran 35 yards for the touchdown. Watch as he goes through the line.
Gets tripped up, almost right there. Good body lean, good balance, and he sees green grass and he's gone. Oh, by the way, that's your nose guard too.
That's my nose guard, yeah. Runs pretty good.
Yes.
So it's a Lake Orion touchdown, albeit somewhat delayed from the kickoff return. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 2:52 to go in the third. It's now Lake Orion 35 and Bloomfield Hills 14.
Katie came into tonight's game with 1 carry for 2 yards. How about his second carry? 35 yards, not bad, and a touchdown. Go mobile with ONTV anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our studio, see upcoming events, and watch ONTV programs in high definition on demand. ONTV working to bring Lake Orion to the world. Speaking of the world, I mean, gosh, I keep saying it, but the last 2 weeks, Lake Orion running game has been out of this world.
Yeah.
I mean, really has. It's been impressive.
The first couple weeks we saw Blaze rolling a lot, throwing on the run. He hasn't had, we saw him it seemed like when he kept the ball, he was getting, again, chunk yardage and good gains. He hasn't had to do that tonight.
Because the guys up front are doing a great job, and the guys running the ball are doing a great job. So, and that's why, you know, the first half, first half, it went real fast because running clock. Not a lot of balls in the air, not a lot of incompletions.
Connor Ross has it teed up on the 40, approaches. End over end kick taken on the 10, up to the 20, and stopped near the 37-yard line is
there's some stuff going on the far sideline too.
There's more stuff going on. couldn't see who the kick returner was. Ari Curtis was in the middle of it, and he got removed by his teammates. And we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Lake Orion. And that's going to hurt.
You know, these are the things that just gnaw on you as a coaching staff. You can see some of the coaches in the sidelines just telling them to calm down, calm down. You know, Coach Blackstock called the team up before that touchdown drive and talked to them very demonstratively. And so it just, you know, you can't get too high, you can't get too low in this game. And you got to play that even keel because it's a full four-quarter football game. And when you let one bad thing kind of sometimes it can snowball on
Right.
you. You know, Lake Orion's up 3 scores right now, but still, there's a lot of football left.
So 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks from the Lake Orion 47-yard line. Handoff. They had Ward in a running back position, and he stopped after a 1-yard gain. Dylan Altman checks into a safety position.
Lake Orion 1 short out there.
James McCoy just
Nope,
came
my fault.
in.
No, I just
Look at this. You have 6 wide receivers to the left, and now motion right, and you only have 2 offensive linemen. The throw over the middle is picked off by Wrench. He's at the 40, over the 45, and the trick play backfires.
We told you they were going to try trick plays early on. That you know they got to find a way to get back in it. And Wench did a great job. I mentioned Wench earlier on his pass drop. He's right at the left of your screen. He drops back, reads the quarterback all the way, steps right in front of number 8, Darren Mack. 9, I guess. Excuse me. 9 is not on our roster, and he's able to pick this one off and return it to the 47-yard line.
And again, good job by the Dragon blockers on the return not to block in the back. We saw 2 of them on that replay held up. So 1st and 10, Marlon Robinson's the running back. He gets the toss back. He's got a little seam, and a flag comes down.
That was on Kobe Manzo. He was trying to block on the one. He was the up back, nice and to fullback, up and nice and tight to the line of scrimmage. He was trying to help set the edge so Robinson could get to the edge. And the defender he was blocking was spun off, tried to spin off, and Kobe held on to the jersey.
Holding against the Dragons will back them up to the 35, 36-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 20 for the Dragons.
Again, that's one we talk about all the time when we see those types of holds on the perimeter, but that's one of the hardest things to do in football is to be able to keep your hands inside the framework of that defender. That defender's looking in the backfield trying to find out where that ball's flowing to as well. And you've got to move in conjunction with that defender. It's hard to do.
Toss back to Howell. Another flag. This one, I think, is going to be on Chris Vernon. Holding Dragons, and that'll be a spot foul. That'll back them up more.
Let's see if we can see it here right on the edge. Vernon tries to reach block number 82, Nathan Howard, and you can see right there the right hand's Howard can't, I say that's not Howard, excuse me, that's Eric Garcia. And Vernon was let go of his hand, but a little too late. You know, Garcia was trying to turn upfield, and he couldn't turn upfield because he was being held.
So now it's 1st down, and they're calling it 38, 39 they're calling it with the ball on the 28. but I don't think it's that far. Blaze rolling right, looking, directing traffic. Runs out of bounds. He was chased by Ward and managed to get out of bounds and maybe gain a couple. 41.9 seconds to go here in the third. Dragons up by 3 touchdowns.
Lauer turned the corner and he pointed down. DeBrincat was in the flat, but he made a decision that he was going to run, and he told DeBrincat to turn upfield and try to block Ward. And by the time DeBrincat turned around to get to Ward, Ward was past him and pushed Lauer out of bounds. But Ward was talking to that Lake Orion Dragon bench on this. They have a few choice words.
Draw play up the middle. DeBrincat's got some running room. He's over 40, up near the 45. They're going to mark him out of bounds on a 42. 33.9 seconds left.
Mitch Howell and Alec Ward are doing some talking over on the far side of the field too. So it's a little heated out there right now. A lot of John, a lot of extracurriculars, if you will. We've seen a couple unsportsmanlikes on both sides of the field, and so let's just get through this clean game the rest of the way through, and no stupid penalties, no stupid injuries as a result.
You've already lost one player for next week. Don't lose any more. Trips left. Blaze back, looks, throws, caught by Mitch Howell into Blackhawk territory at the 48-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and 5. And we won't get another playoff. We'll come to the end of the quarter. We've played 3. Lake Orion 35. Bloomfield Hills 14. We will again tell you that the Lake Orion High School Dragon Broadcast Program and Orion Neighborhood Television have teamed up to bring you live broadcasts of several Lake Orion High School games and events throughout the school year. That includes all varsity football games, weather permitting, and several varsity volleyball matches this fall. If you aren't able to be in attendance, you can watch many games and events online. A subscription costs less than $10 a month, and half the proceeds go back into the Lake Orion High School broadcast program. It's a great option for friends and family who might not live in the area. Check out the live stream of Dragon Sports at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon Sports to the world. So 4th down and 5, and the Dragons are going to go for it. Blaze in a shotgun. DeBrincat, the lone back next to him, trips to the right, looks, throws, overthrows Sam Starch. So it'll be West Bloomfield's ball, 1st and 10 on their own 48.
And Lauer got a little pressure from the his right side from number 9, again, who we don't have on the roster. I don't know if that's what forced the high throw to Starch or not, but that's the thing that Bloomfield Hills needs if they want to try to get back in this game. Down 3 scores, 3 touchdowns.
And defensively, you just have to remember, keep your cool, play your position, tight formation, single back in the backfield. Barish, toss back. Number 45, Jason Gasco, he stacked up and dropped. Back on the 44, that'll be a loss.
Boy, how about the penetration of Mason Slocum, number 54? I mean, he was able to take that handoff on the toss. He was in there so fast. Didn't quite make the play, but boy.
So that makes it 2nd down and 15. The scoreboard's calling it 14 from the 44. A good penetration up front.
Bloomfield Hills has had success in spurts in the ground. They don't have a lot of time to be able to keep the ball on the ground. They got 2 timeouts left moving here in this fourth quarter.
That's going to be a procedure call against Alex Ward. He just kind of made a stutter step before the ball was snapped, so that'll back him up 5 more. Now it's going to be second down from the 39-yard line.
Tell you what, I've mentioned it a couple times, but Alec Ward is really John, number 17, John, the sideline. Lake Orion pointed over there one time.
And he's trying, he's trying to goad someone into doing something.
Maybe, yeah.
Now he's over on his own sideline now. Marcus Brown runs right over to cover him. Throw incomplete, intended for number 44, who they snuck on there with a 44 jersey, and we don't have on our program.
Got a flag sitting at the 35-yard line.
Looks like it's going to be holding against Bloomfield Hills, so that'll back them up 10 more, and they're going the wrong way.
They are.
Ball is now going to be marked on the 25-yard line.
Number 44, whoever that is for Bloomfield Hills, is a nice-sized tight end, And he was open that time, just the ball was thrown a little bit high.
It's second down and 33. And there's not many plays in the playbook for second down and 33.
No, you just got to get a little bit back here, a little bit back on third down, and being down 3 scores, I'm probably going to have to consider going for it on fourth down.
Blackhawks come out twins left, single wide out right, single back in the backfield. Motion this side. Toss back, number 8, Darren Mack gets about 3. It'll be third down.
Katie in on the stop. DeBrinket over there on the stop. This Dragon football team's fired up. I mean, Coach Jennings, he and I talked earlier in the week. I said it at the outset. He said that Monday's practice was such a spirited practice, one of the biggest, the best Monday practices they've had in a long time. And he just felt the energy from that day forward was going to lead into tonight. And it certainly has through coming up on 3.5 quarters of this game.
Back looking, going deep, and well overthrown anybody. Intended for Darren Mack, and another flag comes down, thrown by the referee.
We got one down here. Guess what? Guess who we got? We've been talking about it all night.
And one over here with Alec Ward.
It was on Alec Ward, right in front of the official. He's staring at the Lake Orion bench, talking some smack. Official was standing right there, and they got Alec Ward.
So let's see what they sort out here.
You just can't do that. You gotta have your composure. You're down 3 scores, but you gotta be smart. You can't do things to hurt your football team.
And for Lake Orion, this emotion is going to pay off because they got a big game next week against crosstown rival Clarkston,
who was playing Oxford tonight, and it was a close game earlier. It was 17-10 at half. Trying to find you a score here.
Mitch Howell is back for the Dragons. We have holding against Bloomfield Hills. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. And another ejection. And another unsportsmanlike conduct. Now, I don't know who's been ejected.
Alec Ward was warned earlier in this quarter, in this half, excuse me. And they're going to have a discussion again to make sure they make the right call and make sure if they're ejecting the right person. You know, Bloomfield Hills takes on Oxford next week.
And a lot of it is the frustration of being 1-5.
I think it's that, but I also think Lake Orion, I talked at the beginning about how they've got to stop, as one of the keys of the game, they got to stop Alec Ward. And Lake Orion has done a really nice job of covering them one-on-one on first down, and then second, third downs, doing a nice job of double teaming him, and he hasn't had a lot of touches. He hasn't even had a lot of targets because he simply hasn't been open. So that frustration can wear on you as well.
So right now the ball is spotted at the 11-yard line. The first down marker is the Lake Orion 42. They have it marked at third down and 47 to go.
What would you run?
Draw. That used to drive me nuts in long yardage situation. They'd run draw.
Spread them out and run draw. Let's find out. How about this? I've got a final score for you. You want to hear this?
I want to hear it.
Oxford 20, Clarkston 17.
Final?
That's what it's saying, final score.
Wow.
I hope I'm right, and probably should have checked my sources.
Wow.
Oxford takes a 27 lead with 7.1 seconds left to go on a 5-yard touchdown pass from Drew Carpenter to Joseph Miller on 4th and goal.
Wow.
So
Bloomfield Hills has called timeout so they can figure out what to run on 3rd and 47. Well, that's going to set up a battle next week. You're going to want to be here next week for Lake Orion Clarkston. It's going to be a good one.
are you going to be here?
I'll be here. We're going to be here. It's going to be a game worth calling.
Wow. Just goes to show you that's why you play the games. Anything can happen. We saw Oxford. You saw Oxford.
Yes.
Game 2 of the season. You knew they beat Lake Orion 28-7. They played some other teams tough this year. You know, they're coming into this game. Into this night, they were 4-2, only losing. They beat Romeo earlier in the season. They beat Orion. They lost to West Bloomfield, a very good football team, and they lost to Rochester Adams. And those are their 2 losses, and now they beat one of the top teams in the state tonight, Clarkston.
3rd down. Back, looks, throws, caught, tackled by Wrench. It's going to be 4th down, and all they did is get it into a little better field position, so they're not going to be kicking out of their end zone. Yeah, and we said after week 2 that what we saw from Oxford was classic Bud Raleigh football. Grind it out, power running game, and it's worked this year. There's the punt, high punt, fair catch called for by Howell at the Lake Orion 48, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10 with 8:51 to go here in the game. Be sure to tune in to replays of your favorite games right here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. And Sundays at 7 p.m. Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage at orionontv.org. Robinson on the carry. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. To finish our read, also visit our YouTube link for games on demand, www.orionontv.org.
Would you believe this, too? According to my Twitter feed, West Bloomfield's down Southfield 35-28.
Wow. When we did the game at West Bloomfield, I thought they were one of the best teams I'd seen all year.
late in the third quarter.
2nd and 9 for the Dragons. Offset I. Handoff goes to the fake to Robinson, and Blaze is going to score. Touchdown, Lake Orion
How about
Dragons.
that? Tell you what, Manzo was well open in the flat, but Lauer said, you know what, I want my share too.
I bought the fake. I was watching 3 Blackhawks trying to bring down Marlon Robinson, and Blaze is coming along this sideline untouched.
Here's the play here. And you can see Manzo right open the flat, wide open. But you know what? Lauer pointed and tucked that ball right away. And a lot of times, when you see green grass go, great block downfield by both Manzo and Meter, and gets into the end zone for a touchdown from 51 yards out.
Connor Ross puts it through. 7:59 to go in the game. The Dragons now lead 42-14. Wow, just like that.
During this sports season, ONTV will be covering a large variety of games. Our sports coverage will include varsity football, varsity boys soccer, girls swimming, and varsity girls volleyball. Select games will be streamed live on NFHSnetwork.com and will be replayed on our channel Comcast 10 and AT&T 99. Visit OrionONTV.org for our program schedule.
Well, this has been a wild one tonight. We've had 56 points scored. We've had a little bit of everything.
We've got games going on around the OAA that are upsets and close games, and you know what? The calendar is turned, and October is bringing some more exciting football to the game, to the state, I should say.
Connor Ross puts a foot into it and puts it out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Well, there's still a lot of playoff positions to be decided. We talked in pregame about the Dragons having to win out to be guaranteed a spot, but with Clarkston losing tonight, if West Bloomfield loses, we could get in as a 5-4 team.
You talk about playoff points, yeah. I mean, you just never know, but go 1-0 each week, and that's your job. That's your goal. And Lake Orion's played a nice football game.
So 1st and 10 from the 40. Bloomfield Hills splits 2 wide, offset I in the backfield, and number 12, Bailey Snyder, is dropped for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down.
John Bellion on the stop, 6'2", 190-pound senior. Does a nice job of making that tackle for a loss.
So they're calling it 2nd and 11. And Bloomfield Hills isn't showing any real sense of urgency to get up to the line. And you're right, Chris. I do not see Alec Ward in the game.
I'll be standing over there on the side.
And that'll be a procedure call against Bloomfield Hills on number 44, who we never got on our roster.
No, Ward's standing over on the sideline at the 48-yard line and with his helmet off.
So it's 2nd and 16 for the Blackhawks from the 34. 2 wideouts, backs in the eye. Toss back, dropped is number 12, Bailey Snyder. After a gain of maybe 2, it'll be 3rd down and 14.
Quarterback for Bloomfield Hills is Tanner Slazinski, the brother of Ty Slazinski, the wide receiver I mentioned earlier, who last year caught 22 balls in one game.
And he is probably he's a sophomore. So they're giving him some action. He will probably be their quarterback of the future. He's in the gun. High snap, controls it, looks, throws, complete on this side at the 43. It'll be a fourth down and 7. And right now the Blackhawks have nothing to lose to go for it, and that's what they're going to do. And on that pass, he showed a pretty good arm.
Yeah, I mean, again, we don't know heights and weights, but you see he's got some good size, and if he's anything like his brother was playing at the high school level, who's now playing at collegiate level now, it's
throw this side complete, blanketed by Sinai Pillow. And are they calling it nope, they're calling it first down at midfield. Good catch with a defender draped over him. I didn't get the number of the receiver. So it's first down and 10 for Bloomfield Hills at midfield, approaching the 5-minute mark left in the game. Jasinski under center, toss back, the ball's loose. Ball's still free. There's a pile up for it. One Blackhawk and 2 Dragons had a chance to pick it up. And usually the first thing you want to do is just fall on it. It was finally fallen on by number 71, who's not on our roster.
That's exactly what you want to do. You want to pick up that, or you want, did a nice job of making sure that Bloomfield Hills back couldn't pick up the ball. But you know what? Marku could not pick up the ball. Should have just fallen on it. Would have been a Lake Orion ball right there.
So second down and 16.
Trying to scoop and score.
2 wideouts, 2 tight ends. Drzezinski back, rolling, looking, getting pressure, throwing deep downfield and picked off. Kobe Manzo on the no, it wasn't. It was number 46, Ben Sally on the
48, excuse me. Mason Whitaker.
Mason Whitaker. And I'm sure Coach Dave is very happy.
And Slazinski rolls out, and he's got time, but he doesn't. He lofts it too high, and it kind of wobbles out and hangs up there. And Whitaker with a big interception.
Good body control to bring it in. So the Dragons take over. Kevin McCormick comes out in the quarterback position. Austin Roll is the running back. And Bloomfield Hills is going to take a timeout. We'll try to set some of the changes. Caden Beck was in the slot, and looked like Cameron Geigler was at 1 wideout position.
Wow.
3:46 to go in the fourth quarter.
It's going to be interesting to hear, Coach Blackstock at the conclusion of tonight's game. I mean, yeah, as we always talk about, there's always things coaches can work on and want to work on and improve upon, the last 2 weeks, we've talked about the run game. We've talked about the identity that has been established offensively, obviously coming into a big game next week. This is homecoming week, but after homecoming tomorrow night, that dance, that focus has got to be on Clarkston.
Handoff up the middle. Gain of about 2 or 3. Ball carried by Austin Roll. 5'7", 150-pound junior. Twins left, single wide right, backs in an offset eye. McCormick hands off to Roll again. He gets maybe another yard. And Lucas Spencer checks in place of Vance Wilmoth. And say it's hard to keep track of all the changes. Matt Brunson is in on the offensive line. Twins right, single wide left. Toss back this side. Up near the 35 is Austin Roll again. Nick Schmidt is in one of the offensive line positions. Dave Anderson. And now we're going to have a punt by DeBrincat on 4th down and 4 with 2 minutes left in the game. DeBrincat, nice kick, nice high kick. Dropped, still loose. There's a scramble for it, and as we saw previously, when they tried to pick it up, and another flag comes down at the end of the play. I'm sure that's going to be a misconduct.
And the ball's muffed right there at about the 25-yard line. It's bounced a free ball.
It's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Lake Orion. And Coach Blackstock wants an explanation.
Bounces off McHenry's hands. Beck tries to pick it up.
I don't know if they're going to get, one of the Dragons for piling on.
Yeah, I don't.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks with 1:31 left to play on their own 34-yard line. Under center, toss back. I tucked my...
Bailey Snyder on the carry.
Bailey Snyder, yes. And got a gain of 9, so it's 2nd and 1 as we approach the 1-minute mark. Dragons 42, Blackhawks 14. 2 wideouts, backs in the eye. 2 tight ends. Handoff up the middle. 1st down for number 12. Bailey Snyder again on the carry for the 1st down.
Good win for Lake Orion tonight. Played well on both sides of the ball. Got to correct some things, obviously. Can't allow the emotions of the game to hamper any progress that's made. I'm sure that'll be addressed quite a bit tonight and over the course of this weekend when they watch film tomorrow. But, it's all said and done, too. Lake Orion's going to walk away with a happy homecoming.
We have a procedure call against Bloomfield Hills. Javier Berger checks in along the defensive line, trying to get everyone some playing time tonight. Mason Whitaker in at safety position. Run up the middle. And that's going to do it. We're under 5 seconds. The Lake Orion Dragons come away with a huge homecoming victory over the Bloomfield Hills Blackhawks, 42-14. We'll be right back. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tale of two halves, and this really was, because the first half went by real quick, a lot of running the ball. The second half, between penalties and throwing the ball, we were taught the third and fourth quarters seemed like they took forever.
It seemed like it took forever, but at the same time, Lake Orion, as we talked about the pregame, they won the first quarter, won the first half, they won the second half, and as a result, they won the football game. And that's really all that matters. And you know, the running game was good. The guys up front were good. You gotta tweak the highs and lows. You gotta control the emotions, as we talked about. But this is great momentum for Lake Orion moving into a huge game next week versus Clarkston.
I thought Blaze Lauer played really well. He had the one scramble for the touchdown, but other than that, he stayed within the pocket. He threw the ball well, he handed off well, and he didn't have to run tonight.
He didn't have to run because you got guys up front like Robinson and Manzo and Freeman and Howell and DeBrinket running the ball, and those guys up front doing a great job of forming and opening holes. And when you've got players like that up front, and you've got backs that have good vision and are able to protect the football, that's going to bode well for you as you go into the later part of your season, and also against good football teams like Clarkston, because you've got to be able to keep their offense off the field and control the game from the offensive side of the football.
And defensively, they played well tonight. The defensive front, they put pressure on the Bloomfield Hills quarterback most of the night. They were able to pretty much channel their running game, but good game, good win all the way around for the Dragons.
It was, and like we said in the game, you know, it's a happy homecoming now, and the kids can enjoy tonight. They can enjoy the festivities tomorrow, but when they wake up Sunday morning, that focus has got to be on Clarkston and the Wolves all week long.
Looking to try to get Coach Blackstock over here, and he's in a mass of humanity out there somewhere. But let's look ahead a little bit to Clarkston. Clarkston lost tonight.
Yeah.
What do you see coming up next week?
First of all, wait till you see the highlights of the play at the end to win it for Oxford on fourth down at Clarkston, by the way. You know what Clarkston can do. Yep. They've done it for years now. And you know, they beat a tough West Bloomfield team a number of weeks ago. But that, if anything, you know about Clarkston, that loss is going to fuel them even more over the course of this week, and they're not going to want to come to Dragon Stadium and lay an egg, if you will. I don't want to say it that way, I guess, because Oxford, you beat Clarkston, Oxford deserves the win. Yes. And when it's all said and done, too, it's just going to be a traditional Lake Orion Clarkston battle, yeah. and that we've seen for years, and that's what again makes OAA Red football great.
So now the Dragons are 4-3. Clarkston next week. We talked in pregame, we talked during the game that the possibility for a playoff position is still there, but I think it's going to come down to week 9 against Monroe.
Monroe's a good football team. They're 5-1 going into tonight, and they can clinch a playoff spot tonight. If they clinch tonight, I think if they clinch tonight or next week, they win next week, I should say, they clinch their division. So that's a big game regardless. They're still looking for playoff points. Every team that's still playing has got a shot. 4 wins, even 3 wins now, has got a shot to make the playoffs. So any win here or there is going to help, and playoff points, certainly in this case, is going to help Lake Orion's cause, not only with the win tonight, but also with the Oxford win over Clarkston tonight.
I don't see Coach Blackstock in this sea of humanity. Oh, he's down on the 10. Yeah, he's being interviewed, I believe, by either the Oakland Press or M Live. So, but next week it's against Clarkston. Clarkston brings a lot. They have the two, for lack of a better word, twin towers that are now playing both ways, offense and defensive tackles. So you know you're going to have a battle up front.
Right.
You know, and their quarterback has played very well, just taking over as in the quarterback position this year.
Yeah, you talk about Clarkston and Rocco Spindler and Garrett Dillinger, two of the top kids in the class of 2021. They're sophomores. They're going to be focusing, like Orion's going to be focused on those two all week long in film work and studies. And how do you contain those individuals if you can? That's for the coaching staff to do, and to figure out and hopefully communicate that information to the players as best they can.
Well, I know Coach Bell always used to say, if the guy across from you is bigger, hit him in the center of the chest. You got two guys that are 6'5", 6'6", 270 pounds. It's kind of hard for your typical, especially what we saw tonight, to hit a guy that size in the chest.
Right.
So do you double team him?
Hey, you know what you do? You watch the film from the Oxford game tonight and see what Oxford did to contain those individuals and others.
Yeah.
And you try to put together a game plan in and around what you do and what they did and find a way to make things happen and not ultimately beat yourself. And you do those things and you got a chance.
Here comes Coach Blackstock. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great homecoming win. Will
was.
make it a little sweeter to tell you that Clarkston lost tonight.
Yeah, I just heard that. One of the other guys had told me that. Yeah.
And the last we heard, West Bloomfield was losing as well.
That's what I've also heard. That's the OAA Red, right?
Yeah, it's
Come to play every night.
yeah. Tonight we talked, it was almost a tale of two halves. The first half went so quickly, a lot of running the ball, not a lot of throwing. In the second half, between trying to play catch up and just having some things deteriorate all the way around, the second half seemed like it took forever.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a crazier half of football than that second half?
No, not
I know I've never seen it or been a part of it, and it was crazy. Really excited. Really proud of our guys. Thought they played really well, played hard, played physical and fast, and all the things that we want to do, and controlled the game from the beginning to end. We just talked at the end there that we need to do a little bit better job of our response, to adverse situations as individuals. I thought our team responded well, but at times we had individuals that didn't respond to things well, and that ended up costing us with a lot of penalties that, quite frankly, are a bit embarrassing.
We talked at the beginning of the game, the keys to the game, what we thought were the keys to the game. Number one, we talked about running the football. You had 295 yards against Southfield last week. I don't know what the stats ended up tonight, but Robinson and Manzo and Lauer and Freeman and all, DeBrinket, you name it, you ran the ball well. The other thing we talked about is corralling and containing number 17 from them, Alec Ward. And I think you did a great job in both phases, which I think helped aid the win.
Yeah, hats off to both sides of the ball and both staffs. The 17, the Ward kid was a main focus all week because he is a playmaker. He's as good as they come. So we had to know where he was and do some special things to make sure that he didn't hurt us. And you're right, running the ball has been a huge focus for us the last 2 years, and the guys are really getting clicking now, with running the ball. The offensive line is playing well, and Kobe Manzo's changed the offense, with him lead blocking and playing the H for us, and he's just relentless.
And also, we were taught that we keep seeing the maturation of Blaze. Tonight, only one good run that we saw for the touchdown. He hasn't had to pull it down and run. He's really controlled what he does with the offense. Talk about your quarterback.
Well, I think that's kind of the expectation, that second year in the offense and, a year older, a year wiser, a little stronger, a little faster, that just making better decisions and doing a really nice job of running it.
The work starts tomorrow morning for Clarkston. Good luck. Congratulations.
Already started a little bit in the back of the head.
Enjoy this one tonight, and we'll see you next week.
For sure, we're going to enjoy it. And that's why I said to the guys, like, that's the hard part, is we need to enjoy this. Every win is hard, but there's also something sitting in the back of the brain that we know something big is coming in a few days.
He's going to move to the front of the brain real quick.
Yeah. Congratulations, John.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. That'll wrap it up from the field after a 42-14 Lake Orion Dragon win. For my broadcast partner, Chris Fritching, our producer-director, Joey Tysick, down in the truck, Joe Johnson, our cameraman on the field, and our entire Orion Neighborhood Television crew. I'm Doug Corliss. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.